Welcome back to the garden. So if you guys have got a new build garden but you're unsure as to what to do with it, then you're in the right place. So today I'm going to show you two transformation videos. One a reasonably small garden, one considerably larger, both different feels and different sort of designs. So without further ado, let's get into these videos. Now we'll start with the smaller garden of the two. So as you can see, this is a really sort of straight garden, so it's going to be really tricky to add curves into it. So what these guys have done is they've actually used the shape of the garden to their advantage. What they've done is to split it up with slabs and gravel, and I think that works really well, just adding just that little bit of shape and that little bit of curvature just to the paths. So as you can see, they've actually used quite a lot of raised borders. Now this is a brilliant way to give yourself almost like an instant garden. So yes, you can buy quite a lot of mature plants, but even like the smallest of plants is going to be raised up off the ground and give it like a bit of a winning start, if you like. Now these guys have gone for a tropical field garden with the Dixonian tree ferns, the yuccas, the gunneras and all the different grasses, but you guys can pick whatever feel that you like. You can simply kind of take this kind of design, where I really love the fact that they've just kept their straight lines, and their straight lines basically means that they've used the maximum space they can within their garden as well, because when you add curves and you try and cut the corners, then you're simply sort of cutting your garden down and you're not using the space as good as you probably could do. Now in any garden there's always a place to sit, right? So I think if you're going to enjoy your garden, then you might as well think about putting somewhere there where you can go and sit and enjoy a cup of tea in the morning or a glass of wine at night, and these guys have certainly thought about that. They've tucked it away in a corner. You can't really see, it's not really that obvious. I mean, if that's something that you like, then for me personally, I think that's a great way to do it. I think somewhere that maybe the wife or the husband doesn't really see you outside, if you're just going to sort of sneak away and have a cheeky glass of wine. So just bear that in mind when you're coming to think about your design. Where are you going to sit in the garden, and what sort of position is it? Is it in full sun? Is it in shade? What time of day do you want to sit outside? Do you want to sit outside in the morning? Well, if you do, think about the morning sun coming round, or if it's late on at night, think about where the sun is setting as well. Now with your raised beds, it's always worth thinking about what sort of soil you're going to use. Now a lot of people just put in normal topsoil, which is fine, but you will need to add some like organic matter, normally in the form of like a farmyard manure, but multi-purpose compost is absolutely fine. So when you're first getting going, it's just a case of filling those beds up somewhere that you can give it some height, and then really think about what you want in them. So moving on to the larger garden now, and this really is if you've got a big lawn space and you're not quite sure what to do with it, or you know you want some beds and borders but you don't really know how to go about it. So again, this garden is actually made it slightly raised up. Now this garden actually has 17.5 tons of soil actually added into it. Now obviously that's a great deal of work, and depending on how big your garden and how big you want your beds, then that's really up to you as to whether you want to go ahead and do that little bit of work. If you're going to go ahead and add organic matter, topsoil or compost, then you're really going to reap the reward in years to come. So this garden is actually used a steel edging, so very robust, whereas the last garden was a wooden planters, if you like, raised planters. Now this garden is obviously going to sustain the weather, so it's really going to hold the test of time. Now this garden again is a very square garden. Now what they've actually done here is they've not followed the contours of the straight lines, and they've gone ahead and added some shape. Now, it's a really good tip to remember, if it's a smaller garden, the smaller the garden, the better you are at actually following those straight lines. The bigger the garden, you can get away with more curves and things like that, because you're not taking away from the garden that much, because you've got such a big space. Now, it's really up to you as to what sort of shape you really want your beds and your borders, so it's really just a little bit of imagination. But rule of thumb with this, if they've just cut out the corners and then they've added a little bit of interesting shapes in and around the garden. And again, this has a very tropical theme, but it doesn't have to be this way. It can be whatever you want it to be, with a few tropical bits in between. So it's really a case of, where do you want to sit in the garden? Where do you want your big plants? Or do you want any plants at all? But I'm guessing if you're watching this video, then you're thinking about having some beds and some borders and some interesting bits and bobs. So just like the first one, where are you going to sit? Where does the sun come round? All that sort of stuff. I would highly recommend you have somewhere to sit in your garden, whether that be morning or night. That's quite enough of me talking. I'll let you finish watching this video, and I'll see you at the end.
Sound asleep. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this really quick new build garden transformation video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the garden.